Good YouTube. Quinn Wade comes out with that instant basketball analysis on the playoffs about the Los Angeles Lakers losing to the Rockets 99-93 on Analysis Playground on YouTube, exclusively on there forever. And this was a close one, more closer than you would like. And you would think that LeBron and them will figure out how to close it out and win the game in Crypto Arena, but it ended up not working out that way. I think is the arena called Crypto? If it's not, then at home. Other than that, 28-21, the Lakers did come out the right way and they closed out the first quarter with the lead. The problem was they lost the second quarter 30-19, the third quarter 25-20, and then they did win the fourth quarter 26-23. But when it was time for them to make the big shots and the big plays, they just couldn't get it to go down, and they just couldn't get it to go their way. And then the Rockets was able to score some shots here and there, and they rebounded the ball real well as well when it mattered too. And that's what they're known for, is with their offensive rebounding. And they just was able to knock down some free throws to close it out. Jabari Smith Jr. and everybody on the Rockets all scored in double figures. That was starters, and the bench all scored as well. Jabari ended up playing 42 minutes. He had 22 points. He went 6 of 13 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3, 6 of 8 from the free throw line. He was moving without the basketball. He was helping rebounding wise. He was knocking down his free throws. He was taking the wide open shots that was there, trying to do a little bit more when he could. He had 7 rebounds, 3 assists, no turnovers. He also had 2 blocks, and that ended up being game high for the Rockets. And then he only had 2 offensive rebounds, but he had 2 personal fouls, which is low for 42 minutes, but he was a +5 and plus minus by the end of the game. Tari Eason, 31 minutes. He played better. Like I said, I've been hard on him because he's been missing a lot of wide open shots. He did get a nice offensive rebound at the end of the game, but he blew it. Other than that, he had 18 points. He went 6 of 11 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. And you have to be happy with how he played, because he did pick his spots real well, and he did play with a lot of effort and hustle. He had 5 rebounds, 1 assist, no turnovers, and a block. 1 offensive rebound, 5 personal fouls. He almost fouled out in this one, but that's the type of style that he plays. And he was a -3 and plus minus. And Alperen Sengun was just taking his time. Sometimes he was a little predictable. Sometimes they was able to defend him real well. Cost them 5 turnovers in this one. Other than that, he played 43 minutes, gave 14, 5 of 9 shooting from the field, 4 of 4 shooting from the free throw line. He had to hit some big ones in the fourth quarter to close out the Lakers, and he was able to step up to the line and get it done. He did have 9 boards and 8 assists because of all the opportunities that was opening up by them trying to get the ball out of his hands and making things difficult on him as much as they could one-on-one. He did have 2 steals and a block, 1 offensive rebound, 3 personal fouls, and he was a +8 and plus minus. Amen Thompson, he didn't shoot the ball that great. He went 4 of 14 from the field, but he did hit a big 3. He did make some free throws. He did finish some shots when it was in some times of need for the Rockets. So he didn't shoot the ball great. And if he would have shot it better, they probably wouldn't be in the situation they ended up being in. But he still stepped up, and it mattered enough for them to still be able to edge out the Lakers for the win. 2 of 5 shooting from 3, 5 of 8 from the free throw line. He did have 7 rebounds. He had 4 assists. He had 3 turnovers. He had 4 steals. The 4 steals ended up being the most on the team. He's going to try to get them. He's going to put effort to do it. And he had a good success with that tonight. He had 2 offensive rebounds, 2 personal fouls, was a +5 and plus minus. Reed Shepherd, 35 minutes. He had 12 points. He went 5 of 12 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3. So he ended up making some key baskets, and that's all you can really ask for him to do in a close game. But other than that, you just want more from him sometimes, and sometimes you realize he's a young player that has always been, a player that you want more from. And he hasn't developed into one of their consistent performers just yet, but he has stepped up in big games throughout the season, and this was a game where they needed a pass, they needed a bucket, they needed a stop. He was able to get it in those moments because he did strip LeBron. That led to a dunk in transition for him. But other than that, 6 assists, 1 turnover, 3 steals, 3 personal fouls. and a +2 and plus minus. And Şengün, Thompson, and Shepherd going to have to be the guys that initiate things. They're going to have to be efficient. They're going to have to take care of the ball, and they're going to have to step up in the paint and on a perimeter and make things difficult on the Lakers if they're going to force this one into a game 7 or even win it. And then Dorian Finney-Smith, they kept giving him wide open threes. Then he took some contested ones. He finished 2 of 5 from 3. That was his only field goal, so he finished with 6 points. He did get 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and a turnover. He also had 1 personal foul, was a +6 and plus minus. Aaron Holiday, 13 minutes, he had 5 points. He went 2 of 5 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3. I mean, they're going to let him take the shots, but you have to just continue to try to keep the ball moving or knock him down, and that's what they're going to need from him. He ended up having no turnovers, 3 personal fouls, though he is going to be the smallest person on the court most of the time, and he gets it, but they still trust in him enough to give him 13 minutes, so you got to live with whatever he gives you, even if it's going to hurt you sometimes. That comes with the game. He was a +4 and plus minus. Josh Okogie, 18 minutes. That was the most off the bench. He also took the most shots off the bench, which was 6. He finished 3 of 6 from the field. He ended up having 7 points. That was the most off the bench. He finished 1 of 4 from 3. He had 3 rebounds. He ended up having 2 assists. That ended up being the most off the bench. He had no turnovers in the steal. He also had 3 personal fouls and finished as a +3 and plus minus. He was playing hard. He kept getting open looks. You just want to see him continue to defend at a level, play with an effort, and just try to knock down shots like he did in this one. If you can shoot it better, that's even better. Gives you a better chance of winning and helping your team out. Luke Kennard had an egg game for the Lakers. He was the only starter to not score in double figures in the starting lineup for him. He played 31 minutes. He made a free throw, missed the free throw. He also missed every single 3, even though it was only 2. He went 0-2 from 3 and 0-4 from the field. They have really found a way to take him out of the game, and it has hurted the Lakers' offense and the bending of their offense. And it has made a lot of things look a lot more predictable, which means it's easier for the Rockets to guard them and stop certain things. But Luke Kennard also had 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 2 steals, and a block. He had 2 personal fouls and was a -3 and plus minus. LeBron Ramon James led him in scoring with 25 points. But he looked aghast to me. I'm not going to lie to y'all. He looked like he was tired. Even that last 3 that he took was so short, and he wasn't even that far behind the line. He was right by it, and it was so short. And then some of his takes to the rim just didn't seem right. And I can say that about the whole series, really, for him. He looks like he's 41 now. His decision making, the way he's going about scoring, the way he's attacking the defenses, even in transition, he looks like he's taking his time. He looks like he's gassed. He looks like he's tired. The age showed in this one especially, and you can say the last 2 before this one as well. Other than that, he still looks good enough to be one of the better players in the league. I mean, he went 9 and 20 from the field, which isn't that bad. The problem was he went 0 6 from 3, and if you fatigue and if you tired, you can be a little short on him. Then he went 7 to 10 from the free throw line. He never been the greatest free throw shooter. He did have 3 rebounds. He had 7 assists. He kept trusting his teammate. He kept allowing them to play through the mistakes and allowing them to make plays. But when it was his time, he also looked for them. He had only 2 turnovers. That was an improvement from the last game. And then he had 2 steals. And, sometimes the Rockets caught him slipping. And it worked out for them even in the fourth quarter. And then he had a personal foul, and that was it. That was really good in 39 minutes. It's hard to do that. And he was a -5 and plus minus. Rui played a solid game. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. He played 37 minutes, had 12 points. He went 5 of 11 from the field, 2 of 3 from the three-point line. He had 3 rebounds, 1 turnover, and a steal, 4 personal fouls, and was a +5 and plus minus. DeAndre Ayton played 38 minutes. He had 18 points. He went 9 of 14 from the field. He did get 17 boards, and he finished with a double-double. It seemed like he was the only guy in the paint sometimes in the game, as crazy as that may seem. And he also had 2 blocks. That probably further proves that point. He had 1 turnover, 10 offensive rebounds, and even then it wasn't enough to help him win the game. He had 3 personal fouls and was a +2 and plus minus. This was a game where Ayton was really doing his thing, getting good finishes, getting good putbacks, being physical. And even then, he didn't even take a free throw in this game. And honestly, going 9 to 14 from the field means he didn't really need it either. But other than that, Marcus Smart, 37 minutes. He had 11 points. He went 3 of 7 from three. If Marcus Smart's taking threes, you're happy with that, even though he can knock them down. But that just means he's not doing other things. And when he tried to create other things for his teammates, he ended up getting 6 turnovers because he made it look a little bit too obvious. And he's never really been the greatest decision maker unless it's simplistic, which a lot of players have that type of ability. And you're just happy that he can make simple reads, but it didn't really work out as much in this one. He had 6 rebounds, only 2 assists, 1 offensive rebound, 2 personal fouls, and was a -7 and plus minus. Jared Vanderbilt, 6 minutes. He went 1 of 3 from the field. He missed his only shot from three, so he finished with 2 points. He had 2 rebounds, no turnovers. 1 personal foul, was a -8 and plus minus. Jake LaRavia played 9 minutes. He did make his only shot, but he only finished with 2 points since he took no free throws. He had 2 rebounds, 1 assist, no turnovers, and a block. 1 offensive rebound, 2 personal fouls, was a -1 and plus minus. Jackson Hayes played 10 minutes. He didn't score a basket or took any free throws, so he was scoreless. He was the only guy to do that on the Lakers. He had 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 turnover, and he had 2 personal fouls and was a -8 and plus minus. Austin Reeves played 34 minutes. He ended up giving him the biggest boost, but it came with a cost, mainly because he went 4 of 16 from the field. And he had an opportunity to be the hero of the game for them because he had a lot of shots in the fourth quarter that if he would have made them, it would have flipped his game upside down. But since he didn't really make those either, it just helped him lose the game. But 4 of 16 from the field is just bad. He also went 2 of 8 from three. He kept driving. He kept attacking off the dribble. Kept the Rockets in foul trouble because of that. And then on top of that, he did go 12 or 13 from the free throw line, so at least he made him pay for it. And then he had 4 rebounds. That was the most off the bench, and he had 6 assists. That's a good amount. That's his game, to try to drive, try to shoot the open shots, keep the ball moving, or create a shot for somebody in the paint at the three-point line. All of that still worked. Like, he never was injured, but he did have 3 turnovers in the block. And on top of that, the Rockets do have mobile, athletic defenders with length, and that can make it a little bit tougher. Austin Reeves, but some shots he just flat out missed, even if it was wide open, honestly. And he still was able to trick him enough to get to the free throw line a lot. And then he had 1 block, 3 personal fouls, and was a -5 and plus minus. 76 field goals for the Lakers, 42%. 75 for the Rockets, 44%. 27 threes for the Lakers, which is a low amount, and they shot 26% of them on them anyway. And then 40 for the Rockets, that was a lot more. And then on top of that, they shot 35%. I mean, that's really good for them. And then 27 free throws, they took 2 more than the Rockets. The Rockets shot 25, they shot 76%, while the Lakers shot 81%. 41 rebounds for the Lakers, 34 for the Rockets, 19 assists for the Lakers, 25 for the Rockets, 15 turnovers for the Lakers, 10 for the Rockets, 5 steals for the Lakers, 10 for the Rockets, 5 blocks for the Lakers, 4 for the Rockets, 13 offensive rebounds for the Lakers, 6 for the Rockets, 28 rebounds defensively for both teams, and then 20 personal fouls for the Lakers, 22 for the Rockets. And the Rockets should be happy that they got this win because the Lakers was hanging around. They were still making things interesting. They still had several chances to make shots to be able to take the lead or tie it, which could have changed the outcome of the game. But since they couldn't keep it going and making more shots and more defensive stops, and the Rockets had the lead in the fourth quarter, they was able to keep it basically the entire fourth quarter. They did what they had to do. It was a hard win. They had to fight for it. They almost blew it a couple times, it seemed like, but they still found a way to come out on top and get the win. Got to give them credit for that, and that's what they wanted to do. That's what they came to play for, and they got it done again. Now it's on the Lakers. You put them on the brink of elimination. You outplayed them enough to be up 3-2, and you got to go to Houston. You got to play hard. You got to make the right decisions out there. You got to be prepared, and it's going to be a tough game. But all of these games really been tough, the last 3, and you found a way to lose all 2 of them out of the 3 and almost blew one of the 3 too. So it shows you that the Rockets ain't too far away from them talent-wise, and most likely Kevin Durant ain't going to play. And even if he does, they know how to guard him. They know how to take him out of the game a lot of times. Anyway, they showed that in the regular season. They showed that in the postseason. So it should probably still be a hard, grind-out, tough game anyway. But the Lakers showed that they can win them in this series. That's why they up. They're going to have to find a way to win another one. if they want to advance. But going against the Thunder was really the rush. The problem is you want Luka back, you want Reeves to be more healthier, but you also want LeBron to get some rest. You want him to be ready. You want him to be as close as he can to be the best version of himself for his age. But even then, the Rockets show you that they can hang with him and probably still pull out another game. So I'm not saying the Rockets winning the next game. I'm not saying that they lose. I'm going to be interested in watching it again and see how it ends up going and see who ends up winning it, just like the rest of y'all who fans of the basketball game or fans of the team. So should be a close one, should be an interesting one. And even if it's a blowout, somebody getting put out or somebody going to be on the brink of elimination. And then if the Rockets win it, they put on the Lakers on the brink of elimination, and their season is going to be on the line for the postseason. So that's not what they want to see. That's not ideal. But at the same time, you could have won these other two, but you couldn't get it done. So you put it on yourself. It's shooting yourself in the foot all over again. So the Lakers got to avoid that Game 7 at the best of their ability. And it will be at their home court advantage, though, but they lost this one. They should have eliminated them in this one. Couldn't get it done. So nobody's really going to be feeling sorry for them if they get put out, especially being up 3-1 in the series and losing basically 4 straight games. So we have to see what happens, though. Comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell to get that analysis when it first come out. Y'all stay blessed up. Y'all stay good. Peace. And I'll see y'all later today, man, with more analysis on the playoffs and whatever else comes up. Basketball related, NBA related.